Today is Monday, August 15th, and we have some breaking family news. Hello, and welcome back to the Kimberly Lovey podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Lovey. You guys, my sister had a baby. Okay, guys, little backstory. My sister and my brother-in-law, Jen and Adelfo, they basically were kind of late to the party for parenthood because my sister is this amazing doctor and has been very focused on her career. So she had her first son already, Skylito, at, it was May 2020, May 7th, 2020. So he was a full-blown pandemic baby. So we had to cancel her baby shower. And when Skylar was born, when she had him, I had to meet my brother-in-law, my amazing, incredible brother-in-law, Adelfo, at the hospital and install their car seat, go to their apartment, put everything together for them, get it baby ready because her water had broken at 36 weeks, when she was having dinner. And so anyway, needless to say, this has been a very different experience. But of course, in true form, Jen and Adelfo had to drive everyone crazy and be the hippies that they are and decided to have a surprise. They didn't want to know the gender. So all of us were on pins and needles for the last, several months. So today she's actually 38 weeks and she's considered high risk, and they were going to induce her by 39 weeks. And so let me tell you what happened. Okay. So her labor story is kind of interesting. Yes, London's so excited. Okay. So basically yesterday, Sunday, Jen was like, oh, I think I want to come see you guys before I have the baby, let me come, because she lives 45 minutes or maybe an hour away. And so Adelfo's working, it's just me and Skylar, and I'm like, yeah, come on out, So she comes out, I order her pasta, she picks it up, and she calls me and she's like, so there's been a little change of plans. I'm like, what's that? She's like, well, I have some symptoms and I called L&D, labor and delivery, and they want me to come in and get checked. I'm like, okay, don't panic, no worries, just come. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna come over still, I'm a few minutes away, and I'll just have my pasta. And then we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with her son Skylar. And so we are just breathing through the experience. We're we're not gonna panic, we're just gonna go with it. Keep in mind, she doesn't have her go bag, she's not really ready for the baby. She has a clinic tomorrow, which is now today, which was 24 patients, and that was supposed to be her last day before maternity leave. So she just really wanted to get through today. But anyway, so she comes over with Skylar, she has her pasta, and the more I'm hearing about her symptoms, I'm like, this might be it. This might be it. And so basically she called Adelfo, her husband, and we're calling everyone. And so she's thinking, oh, they're just going to check me out and send me home. And you could tell there was no part of her that thought she would actually be admitted, maybe 1%. And so anyway, I take a picture of her and my mom, and my mom's like, oh, she's this is it for sure, this is it. And Adelfo's like, this is it. And Jen's like, no, Adelfo, don't leave work, I'll just let you know if they admit me or not, and then you can come meet me. He's like, no, this is it for sure, babe, I'm coming. So anyway, we're laughing, and then so she drives over there, and then her mother-in-law and so Adelfo's family basically meets them at the hospital, takes Skylar and takes the car and drives home. And then Adelfo meets Jen at the hospital. So sure enough, they admit her. So we don't know if it's a boy or a girl this whole time. And it's 3, so she leaves my house at 2:00, 3:00, she's at the hospital. By 4 or 5, we know she's admitted. Oh, by 4:00, we know she's admitted. I get a call just as I'm walking into Sam and Abby's barbecue. Jen calls me. And so we're oh my goodness, everyone's kind of taken off guard. Right, London? Yeah, London thinks this is the best story ever. So yeah, so basically I wake up at 5 a.m. and Adelfo's everything's fine. No baby yet, but she's 2 centimeters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, And so anyway, so then he 2 hours later, another update, like, she's fine, contractions are increasing, we're on our way. I'm like, okay. And then I don't hear from them for like 3 hours, and I'm like kind of worried. I'm like, for some reason I have this gut feeling like something's going on. Well, come to find out later that the baby's heart rate kept dropping exactly like London's, the same thing. And it was really scary for them, and they were going to almost put her into emergency C-section. They like held off on another woman's C-section because they were prepping the OR for Jen. So basically she ends up starting to push at what time? Adolfo texts us all. We're on a big family chat. And it's Costa Rican Mother's Day at this point too, which is so exciting because Adolfo's Costa Rican. His dad is, part of the group chat in Costa Rica. Anyway, so 10:50, in my head I'm thinking at 11 a.m. they're gonna have the baby. 10:50, he texts me and he texts all of us. He's like, okay, they're getting ready. She's gonna start pushing. So the kids are going to gymnastics camp at 11:30. And my mom called me, so I call her back, and she's like, hey, I'm going to Bridge, just don't call me. I'm like, what? Like, Jen's pushing. She's like, yeah, I'll just see you on the chat, but I can't answer my phone at Bridge. Like, you'll get yelled at. And I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, you are literally like iconic. Like, this is such a Mrs. Goldstein move. Like, this is why we call you Mrs. Goldstein. She's like, well, what? I don't get it. What's wrong with that? And I'm thinking, your daughter is giving birth. Like, that's what's wrong with this. Like, you're having a grandchild being born and you don't want a phone call. Like you cannot make this up with Mrs. Goldstein. She is just so hardcore. It's ridiculous. So I'm like telling my mom, I'm like, I cannot wait to tell Jen this part of her birth story. Like, she's going to be beside herself laughing. So my mom and I are like, okay, great. We'll be in touch. So I go drop off the kids and I get back in my car and I look down at the WhatsApp chat, and Adolfo texts us all, sends a message. Meet Lucia Isabella Ballerin. And we didn't know it's a girl. So she had a girl. Of course, I immediately start screaming, crying. I know my mom's driving and hasn't seen it. So I call my mom. I'm like, they had the baby. She's like, well, what is it? What is it? I'm like, it's a girl. She's like, what? She starts screaming. It's a girl. It's a girl. Oh my God. We're like screaming. We're crying. Like, it was amazing. And then we called my dad. And of course, he doesn't answer his cell phone. So then I call him at the house and he like shockingly answers because he never can even hear it. And anyway, so then we tell him and he's like, oh my God, it's a girl. Like, we were all just crying, like so excited, like me and my mom, my dad. And then Jen's sister-in-law calls me. Same thing. We're crying. We're like, she's telling me that their apartment was not ready. Like, they had to go home and get the go bag for Jen and Adolfo because they didn't have anything ready. And like, just hilarious. Like, if you know Jen and Adolfo, it was just like, they were not ready for the baby, of course. And anyway, but it doesn't even matter. So last time I had to set up everything for their first baby, and now I've passed the torch, and little Nuri and Mrs. Nuri are handling things. And they all slept over at the apartment, and they have Skylar, and it's just so cute. So it's also, I already said it's Costa Rican Mother's Day, so that's exciting. So they got their girl. Her initials are Liv, Liv, which is so sweet, and they didn't even realize that. And we don't even know how much she weighs yet because they hadn't weighed her. Like, they called me and they're like having their golden hour right now with her. And so we don't know how much she weighs, but she has a lot of hair, dark hair, and she's perfect and beautiful. And turns out they did have like a lot of like, just, it was a scary birth for them, and just sounded exactly like the birth we had with London. So I'm just so glad she's okay. And we're just overjoyed, and the kids don't even know yet. They're gonna like freak out. So we're so excited to have another girl. So now we have 3 girls, 2 boys in the fam. And London has a little bestie because they're basically only 5 months apart, 5.5 months apart, these 2 girls, the little girls. So I get to teach Adolfo and Jen, but mostly Adolfo, how to do little Lucia's hair when they're ready for doing her hair. We get to go buy all the bows and buy all the things that we couldn't buy all this time because we had no idea if it was boy or girl. But so congratulations to Jen and Adolfo. Welcome to the world, Lucia Isabella Ballerin. You are loved and you are special, and we are overjoyed you made your family complete. Outdoor Movies by You is not just your average rental company. We consider ourselves an outdoor movie event company. Starting in 2011, we created the idea of bringing the movie theater to your backyard. Other than maybe a park with a ton of strangers, no one really knew what the outdoor movie was. With having over 30 years of experience of being a social event planner, Carrie combined the two and has created an event company that focuses on the outdoor movie concept. Simple options to choose from, just the basic, the actor, to having it all, Act 2, In-N-Out Burger packages. We offer seating, swag bags, s'mores, blankets, you name it, we can get it. We like to think of ourselves as a one-stop shop. Oh, and free popcorn with every event. We have no area boundaries from Santa Barbara to San Diego and everywhere in between. Once the pandemic hit, we had never seen anything like this. Our business grew by leaps and bounds as it was the safest way to entertain. We felt that we were putting laughs and smiles on faces in such a dark time. Whether it's a date night for 2 or a school with 1,000, Outdoor Movies by You will roll out the red carpet every time. See us in action on Instagram at Outdoor Movies by You. Okay, guys, welcome back. So I am now joined by my mom, and we have now officially met baby Lucia, and we are just so excited. She's so cute. Mom, what do you think about Jen having a girl? What do you think about Lucia, her name, all that stuff?
I'm totally ecstatic. Now she has the perfect family. She's got a boy and a girl. Everybody wanted a girl, including them, but they were really afraid to say it because they didn't want to be disappointed if it was another boy. But thank God it's a girl. We didn't know what it was. She didn't have the sex identified before she delivered. So it was really exciting and surprising to hear that it was a girl.
Yes, and we were also begging her the entire pregnancy to just find out the gender because it was literally driving us insane, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, after meeting the baby, I have to say I feel like it took a minute to connect, to really lean into the fact that there is a new person because we just didn't have that visualization of what we were getting. So it was very shocking. It was incredibly shocking when we found out. Like, you were screaming, right?
Oh, yes. At the beginning, I thought it was a girl. For sure, for sure, for sure. I had a premonition. It was. But then she showed us those ultrasound photos, and it certainly looked like a boy. And I showed probably 5 or 6 people those ultrasound pictures. Everybody says, oh, that's a boy's face. So I was a little disappointed, and I kind of changed my opinion to a boy because I didn't want to be disappointed again. But thank God it's a girl. And when they pulled the baby out,
London.
When they pulled the baby out, the doctor didn't announce what it was. Jennifer had to look between her legs to see what it was and figure it out for herself.
And Adolfo kind of saw too and was like saying it. But yeah, so we saw her and we think she looks like a mix, right, of the two right now?
She looks like a mix. She's still all squishy and swollen.
Squishy and swollen, yes.
But that'll probably take about a week to get down. But at first glance, she looks like Adolfo. She's got Adolfo's hair. It's almost as long as his.
Yeah, it's like an inch thick, gorgeous, straight hair.
A lot. The most hair I've ever seen on a baby in my entire life. It's covering her ears and it grows down her neck.
It's insane. And we saw her when she was only 2 days old, and she had all that hair.
Yeah, amazing. Totally amazing.
Don't you think it'll make having a girl is like gonna make Jen complete?
It's going to be good for her. Her whole life is going to be good for her. Girls are wonderful.
Yeah. And so what do you think? What kind of mom do you think Jen's going to be now that she has a girl?
Same kind of mom.
A Mrs. Goldstein Jr.?
She'll be a Mrs. Goldstein Jr. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. So she's a good mom, and she's very attentive. Her boy, Skylar, is very attached to her, so you could tell that she gives the kids a lot of love. She has a rigorous schedule, so it's really hard for her. But she counts on quality time instead of quantity time.
Yeah.
Which is true. There is a definite truth to that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Jen's going to be like even more into parenting now that she has a girl, just because like she, like you said before, like she knows what it's like to be a daughter and to, you know, I don't know. I think her having a daughter is going to completely change her parenting experience. I feel like she's going to lean in even harder. Not that she wasn't leaning in with Skylar, but I just feel like she's going to have even a deeper connection
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah. It's going to grow over the years.
Yeah, she'll warm up to Lucia. What do you think of the name Lucia Isabella?
I love the name, and we already have nicknames. Her initials are Liv, so she could always use that.
Yep.
And if Skylar can't pronounce the name, we can call her Lulu.
Right.
Or if we all like that name, we could call her Lulu. But
Yep.
I really don't care for Lucy. I'd rather have Lucia.
Wait, and we have to tell the people what we did. We went and we did something I don't think you thought it was possible. We went and visited Jen and Adolfo, and they really needed sleep. So we piled all 3 kids into 2 strollers, and we walked out of the house, and we walked all 3 kids around for 2 hours. Were you proud?
Yeah, it was good.
Were you anxious to take them all out?
I didn't think we should take out the newborn, but it turned out that we did, and she slept most of the whole way.
Yeah. And then Jen got to sleep 2 hours, and Adolfo got 3, and we fed them. And the baby's already latching, so that's exciting. And her milk wasn't fully in yet, so she's going to top off, which is normal.
But
So,
I think
yeah.
today it's fully in.
yeah, today it's fully in. And London is so excited. She's going to have a little twin cousin. Although London looks like she could eat Lucia for breakfast, because London's 14 pounds and Lucia is 6. And between 6 and 7. And London is between 14 and 15. So, yeah. And we brought piles of clothes over for baby Lucia because we didn't buy her anything because we had no idea what we were having. So we quadrupled her wardrobe, right? First, you
Yeah.
and I went through all
Yes.
London stuff, and we brought over all the newborn clothes.
Yes. And then we took back all the boy clothes so she wouldn't dress her kid in boy clothes.
Right. Right. Yeah. And Skylar really doesn't know what's going on yet, which is exactly how Carter was. Like, when they're that close together, they don't really know what's going on.
No, it's fine. He doesn't have to know. It's just will come naturally to him.
Yeah. He won't remember. Right now, I think he's like probably going to go through that like little adjustment of the jealousy phase, but it's not that crazy when they're this young. And then before he knows it, he won't remember life without Lucia. So that'll be his baby sister, his bestie,
Yeah.
his whole life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the kids are excited, and Carter's excited. He gets to teach Skylar how to be a good big brother to a girl. He's all excited about that. So, yeah, and Charlotte's thrilled that she gets another girl. So, really, we're all just kind of overjoyed, right?
Yes.
And Benuris stepped in and took over and prepared their apartment, so that was good. And that's pretty much it. So congratulations, Jen and Adolfo. Welcome to the world, baby Lucia. You have the best big brother, Skylito. See, look how excited London is. So we're just super happy, and Dad's excited. Everybody's happy. So
And the baby's lucky to have good parents of Jen and Adolfo.
of course, they're going to be taking those kids all over the world. They've
Yes.
already started with Skylar. Buckle up, Lucia. You're in for a wild ride. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for joining me, Mom.
Okay.
All right, that is it for today. Now, as you know, some of our best conversations actually happen after the show. So I want you to find me on Instagram at Kimberly Lovey and let me know your thoughts about today's show. You can screenshot this episode and let us know what your biggest takeaway was and tag me at Kimberly Lovey, and we can share it on our stories. I will see you again, same time, same place next week.